Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. So guys, in today's tutorial we'll learn how to make this beautiful crochet owl wall hanging. Since this tutorial is lengthy, I have split it into two parts. Please refer the description for the second part. For today's project, I'll be using the yarn called as Impeccable from the brand Loops and Thread, and I will be using a crochet hook of size 4.5 mm. So we'll start by making a slip knot. After making the slip knot, we are going to make a chain of 22. So just go ahead and chain 22. Once the chain of 22 is completed, on the second chain we are going to make a single crochet, and then we are going to make one single crochet on each of the chains. So we had 22 chains since we started from the second chain, so now we will have a total of 21 stitches after we completed making all the single crochets till the end. So here we are making our single crochets, and this is our last stitch, and here we are completing 21 total stitches. After that we will chain 1 and turn our work. So in this row we'll be working on the next stitch. So and that too will be working only in the front loop. So first we're going to make 4 single crochets in the first 4 stitches, and remember, for the entire row we are going to work only in the front loop. So this is the 4th single crochet. After that we are going to make 2 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So the first half double crochet, our first half double crochet, here we'll be pulling through all the loops, and our second half double crochet. Now we'll be making 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So what we are doing here is we are gradually increasing the height of our row. After 2 double crochet, we are going to make 2 treble crochet. So in treble crochet we yarn over twice, and so 2 treble crochet in the next 2 stitches. Second treble crochet now. So after we have done that, now in the next stitch we are going to make 3 double treble crochet in the same stitch. So for double treble crochet we yarn over thrice, and then we pull through the loops 3 times. Second time and the third time, and finally the stitch. So we'll make 3 double treble crochet in the center stitch. So this is our second double treble crochet, and this is our third double treble crochet, which we have done into the same stitch, that is the center stitch. So after this we are again going to repeat the same pattern which we did on the other side, but in a reverse way. So we'll start off by making 2 treble crochets in the next 2 stitches, the second treble crochet, followed by 2 double crochet, and make sure that for this entire row you're just working on the front loop. Followed by 2 half double crochet, and now we'll be left with 4 stitches, and into the 4 stitches we will make 4 single crochets. So this is the last stitch, and after the last stitch we're going to make a chain of 3 and then turn our work. So now we'll be working only in the back loop, and we're going to make 11 double crochets. So we are not going to work on the chain, so we'll skip 3 stitches, that is 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th stitch, that is in the back loop, we're going to make our first double crochet, and then the second double crochet. So make 1 double crochet in each of the stitches, back loop of the stitches, till we have made a total of 11 double crochets. So for this entire row we'll be working in the back loop only. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have completed 11 double crochets. So now on the next stitch, that is, if you see, we had made 3 double crochet into the center one, and here we're going to use both the loops. We are going to make 5 double crochets into this center stitch here. So we're going to make 5 double crochet, and we are working on the entire stitch. That is, we are taking in both the front loop and the back loop. So after completing 5 double crochets, again for the remaining we are going to work on the back loop, and we are going to again make 11 double crochets on the other side as well. So we're making 1 double crochet in each stitch till we have a total of 11 double crochets. So this is the last stitch, and as you can see we have completed the other side. So we'll chain 1 and we will turn our work, and now we're going to work on the front post. So in the front post it can take the entire stitch and then pull through it, and we're going to make a single crochet. So we'll make into each stitch, we will make 1 front post single crochet, and we will make a total of 13 front post single crochet. So this is the third. So keep going till we have a total of 13 front post single crochet. Post is nothing but the entire stitch. So here after the 13th stitch, now into the next stitch we are going to make one front post single crochet, then we are going to make a chain of 1, and again into the same stitch we are going to make one more front post single crochet. So this chain 1 space we are going to mark it either with a marker or using a yarn of different color. So after that, the remaining stitches we are going to again make 13 front post single crochet on the other side. So we have 13 and 13 on each side, and on the center stitch we had made one front post single crochet, chain 1, and another front post single crochet in the same stitch. And now the last one. So after the 13th front post single crochet, if you see, there is a chain 3 left at the end, so we are going to make another front post single crochet over it, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, but we're not going to use this first stitch, so we will skip that stitch and we will slip stitch into the next stitch, into the next 3 stitches. So the first stitch, the second stitch, and the third stitch. So we have slip stitched into 3 stitches after skipping the first stitch. Then we are going to make a chain of 3, and into the same stitch we are going to make 3 single crochets. So here we are going to make the ears or the sides of the face of the arm. So after this we are going to make a chain of 3 and we are going to turn our work, and into the 4th stitch, that is after the chain of 3 into the 4th stitch in the back loop, we are going to make 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So second single crochet and the third single crochet. So for this entire pattern we'll be using only the back loop. So chain 3 again, turn your work, and into the 4th stitch from top we are going to make 3 single crochet in each of the 3 stitches, that too in the back loop. So we're going to repeat this exactly the same pattern, that is chain 3, and starting from the 4th stitch we are going to make 3 single crochets in each of the stitches. So we are going to repeat this until we have completed 5 rows. So you can see this ridges, like the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so till you have 5 ridges. And after the 5th ridge, what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and now we are going to pull out loops through each of the stitches. So through the first one, pull a loop through the second one, and pull a loop through the third stitch, and now we will pull through all the stitches and then chain 1. So here the side of the face of the one part of the face of the arm is ready. We'll trim our yarn here. Now into the very next stitch at the base we are going to insert our hook into the back loop. So we'll pull through it, then we are going to chain 1, and in the same stitch we are going to make a single crochet, and then into the next 9 stitches we are going to make 9 single crochet. So here too we are just working on the back loop. So BLO means back loop only, At the beginning there is slide with the abbreviations that are used in the comments. So if you do not understand any of the abbreviations, please do refer to that particular slide. So we're going to make 9 single crochets in the next 9 stitches. While doing that, make sure to stitch over the tail yarn also. Then in the next stitch, that is on the 10th stitch, we are going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Then we're going to make a chain of 1, and the stitch which we had marked in the previous row, we're going to skip that stitch. We're not going to make any stitches on top of it. We're going to stitch that, skip that stitch, and into the next stitch, after skipping that, we are going to make again 2 single crochets. So this chain 1 space which we have created in the tip, we are going to again mark it with our pink yarn. Now we are again going to make 9 single crochets on the remaining 10 single crochets on the remaining 10 stitches. So on the other side we had made 9 single crochets, but we had 1 stitch at the beginning where we had connected our yarn, so total of 10 single crochets are also present on the other side. So here too we are having 10 single crochets for 10 stitches, and we are working only in the back loop. So after that, after the end stitch, we are going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to make 1 decrease in the first 2 stitches. So we insert and pull through the first 2 stitches and then pull through all of them. So we made 1 decrease here. After the first decrease, we are going to make 9 single crochets in the 9 stitches. So here too we are working only in the back loop. So we're making 1 single crochet in each stitch till we have done 9 single crochets. After the 9th single crochet, we will make 2 single crochet in the next stitch, in the same stitch, that is. So 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Then we are going to skip the marked yarn and chain 1 above it. After skipping that stitch, into the next stitch we are again going to make 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So we'll again mark the chain 1 space, and then on the other side we are going to make 9 single crochets, that is 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. If you remember, on the other side, the first 2 stitches we have done 1 decrease. So here too, after the 9th stitch, we'll be left with 2 stitches. So it's the 9th stitch, and we have 2 stitches here, and we are going to make 1 more decrease here. So to make a decrease, we insert through the first stitch, and then we insert into the next stitch, and then we pull through all of them together. So we're making 1 decrease. Then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So here now for the eye part, we are going to make a chain of 11. So this pattern is for the eye area. So this is a chain of 11. Next we'll yarn over 8 times. And into the next stitch, but in the back loop, we are going to connect and pull, and then we'll pull through 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and after that complete the stitch. So for the next one, we're going to yarn over 7 times, and then in a similar manner connect to the next stitch and then pull through 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then complete the stitch. The next one we're going to do the same thing, but this time we'll do 6 times and connect into the next stitch. Then we'll pull through 6 times and then complete the stitch. So now we'll yarn over 5 times and into the next stitch and pull through 5 times and then complete the stitch. So once we have done this, now we're going to connect it to the marked stitch here. So we're going to make a single crochet in that chain 1 space. So making a single crochet here. So this is the eye area of one side. Now to make the eye area of the other side, we'll yarn over 5 times, and here we'll be connecting it to the 5th stitch from the left side. So count from the end, 3, 4, 5. So in the back loop, we'll be connecting on the 5th stitch from the left side, and we'll pull through 5 times like we have done on the other side, and then complete the stitch. Similarly, next we will be doing the same thing, but we'll do it for yarning over 6 times and connect to the 4th stitch and then pull through 6 times. Then complete the stitch. Next we'll yarn over 7 times, and this time we'll connect to the 3rd stitch from the left and we'll pull through 7 times and then complete our stitch. Now we have 2 more stitches left, and now we'll be yarning over 8 times, connecting to the 2nd stitch from left and pulling through the 2 loops 8 times. So we'll pull through 8 times and complete the stitch. So for the last stitch, we're going to chain 11 and like we have done on the other side, here too after chaining 11 we will connect to the 1st stitch from the left. So this is the eye area of the other side. So now once we've completed the eye area, we'll try to make the other ear of the owl. So we have this side stitch here. So over this side stitch we will be making 2 slip stitches and going down to our base stitch. So making the 2nd slip stitch, we're just slip stitching our way to reach the base stitch here so that we can start making the other ear. So 2nd slip stitch and then into the base stitch, that is the bottom stitch. In the back loop we will make 1 more slip stitch. Then we're going to chain 3 and into the same stitch we are going to make 3 single crochets. And after that we are going to make a chain of 3 and turn our work And this is a similar pattern that we have done for the ear on the other side. So here again we're going to make 3 single crochets in the back loop of the 3 stitches, and after that we're going to chain 3, turn again, and then again make 3 single crochets in the 3 stitches. So we'll continue this pattern till we have completed a total of 5 rows. So repeat the same pattern till we have 5 rows. So here we have completed 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th one. So in the 5th one, what we'll do is we'll just chain 1 and turn and pull loops through each of the 3 stitches. First one and the second one and the third one, and now we'll pull through all of them and then make a chain of 1. So this is the other ear which is completed. Now we will trim this yarn also. So as you can see here, we have completed the head part, the 2 ear area and the eye area of the owl. Now we are going to connect all the ears and the face of the owl. So connect the yarn to the last stitch of our first ear. So we'll connect here. It's the last stitch or the last loop, you can say. Then we are going to make a chain of 1 and then make a single crochet in the very same stitch. So if you want, you can mark this chain 1 space. This will be used later on to make as a marker for starting the wings of the owl. Either you can mark it now or you can even identify or mark it later. So after that we are going to connect and make a single crochet on top of the 11th chain. So the 11th chain, that is just before the stitch, is the 11th chain. So here we are going to make 1 single crochet. Now into each of the stitches that we have, we are going to make 1 single crochet in each of them. And while making this single crochet into the stitch, I am trying to include the chain of one of the loop of the chain also. So here, instead of directly inserting into the space and pulling through it, what I am doing is I am taking one of the loop of that post. So this loop I am using, connecting it as well. You need not do this if you find this difficult. So we're going to make 9 single crochets on top of 9 of the stitches. So when you include this loop, the stitch is a bit more, it looks more polished rather than just stitching through each of the space. So I'm including one of the loop of the stitch as well. So after 9 single crochets into the 11 chain on the other side, we're going to make 1 single crochet on top of that also. So we will have a total of 11 single crochets in the center part. Now to connect the other ear, we are going to connect it to the last stitch or the last loop of the ear, and then we are going to make a single crochet here. So, and then chain one and turn. So we have 11 stitches in the center, and at the two edges we have 2 extra single crochets, so 13 stitches. Now make 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and here for this entire row we are working only in the front loop. Next, the 11 single crochets we are going to make on 11 of the stitches. So for the previous row, if you remember, we had 11 single crochets in the center and 2 connecting stitches at 2 connecting single crochets at 2 edges. So in the connecting stitches we are going to make 2 single crochets, and for the remaining in the center single crochet we're just going to make 1 single crochet on top of it. So we started off by making 2 single crochet in the starting stitch. Then we're going to make 11 single crochets, that is 1 single crochet in each of the stitches, and at the end again, the last connecting single crochet, we're going to make again 2 single crochet in it. Now we'll turn and then we'll slip stitch into the second stitch. So here we are slip stitching into the second stitch, and here we are going to make a chain of 4. After making this chain of 4, we are going to make a popcorn stitch into the same space. So for making a popcorn stitch, we will make first 5 double crochets into the same space. After the 5th double crochet, we will insert our hook into our first double crochet and pull the loop available in the last double crochet and pull it through the first. So this is called a popcorn stitch, and then we will make a chain of 2, and then we will skip the next 2 stitches and into the 3rd stitch we will make another popcorn stitch. So whenever now I refer to a popcorn stitch, it will be a 5 double crochet into the same stitch, and then we will insert a hook into the first double crochet and pull the loop of the last double crochet. So for this row we will be making the popcorn stitch after skipping 2 stitches, and by the end of this row we should have a total of 5 popcorn stitches. So we'll repeat the same pattern to complete 5 popcorn stitches. So we have completed 4 popcorn stitches here, and into the last stitch we are making our 5th popcorn stitch. So after we complete the last popcorn stitch, we are going to chain 2 and make one double crochet in the same space. So this chain 2 and one double crochet is to create a extra space for a popcorn stitch of the next row. So we're going to chain 4 here, and if you see the double crochet and chain 2 that we did, that space will be the space where we are going to make our first popcorn stitch. So here, because we're increasing the number of popcorn stitches, so we are creating this extra space at the end. So we're going to make our first popcorn stitch into this space. Now if you see, we have inverted, that is, the popcorn is visible on the other side. So for this row, while pulling the loop through the first, inserting hook into the first stitch and pulling the loop of the last stitch, we are going to do it in the reverse manner. That is, we are going to do it from the front, so that the popcorn is made on the other side. We're going to make a chain of 2 again, and here we don't have to skip any stitches because we have ready-made spaces available where we are going to make our popcorn stitches. So we're going to make a total of 6 popcorn stitch for this row. Here too, after the last popcorn stitch, that is 6th popcorn stitch, we will chain 2 and make a double crochet in the same space. So we will be doing the steps whenever we are increasing the number of popcorn stitches in the next row. So we're going to chain 4 and turn our work. So the space which we just now created, we are going to start by making a popcorn stitch with this space. So our first popcorn will be here, and since the popcorn is facing our side, so here we will insert our hook into the first stitch and pull the loop of the 5th stitch from behind. So here again chain 2 and into the next space between the popcorn, we are going to make a next popcorn stitch. So total of 7 popcorn stitches should be completed by the end of this row. So this is our 7th popcorn. So in the first row we have 5 popcorn stitches, in the second we have 6, and in the third row we have 7 popcorn stitches. So in the next few rows also we will only have 7 popcorn stitches. So we're not going to create the extra space at the end. So we're directly going to chain 4, and then we are going to start our popcorn into the space available here. So generally what we were doing is we were chaining 2 and making a double crochet in the same space. while doing that, we were increasing one space for a popcorn stitch. So the next row we will have one extra popcorn. But since we want the next few rows to have only 7 popcorn stitches, we are not doing that last step. So here this is our first popcorn stitch, and we will have exactly space available to complete 7 popcorn stitches for this row. So we have completed this row. Now we are going to again chain 4 and turn, because we are not increasing any more popcorn stitches. So what we are going to do here is we are going to repeat this same row till, so we have 5 in the first row, 6 in the second row, and 7 in the third and the fourth row. So we are going to make a total of 7 rows, and we will have for the next few rows only 7 popcorn stitches in them. So let's complete 7 rows using the same pattern. Now for the 8th row, what we are going to do is we are going to reduce one more. So we're not going to do a chain of 4 also that we usually do. We're directly going to slip stitch into the first space and then make a chain of 3. This chain 3 is considered as the first double crochet, and then make a 4 more double crochet into the same space. And since the chain of 3 is a first double crochet, so we will insert a hook into the third stitch here, and then pull the loop of the last double crochet and complete our popcorn stitch here. I'm going to chain 2, and then into each of the spaces we are going to make 1 popcorn stitches, and here we will have a total of 6 popcorn stitches overall. So we will be, for this row we will have 6 popcorn stitches. So this is the 6th popcorn stitch. So we'll pull through the last loop, and then we will trim our yarn. So here we have completed the face and the body of the owl. In the next video that I'll release very soon, please refer to the description for it. Here we will be making the side wings, the eyes and the nose, and I will show you how to connect it to a branch. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for notifications. Also give me a thumbs up if this video was something which you really liked, and thank you for watching.